Hi, folks. So, today we are going to analyze a team which has improved by leaps and bounds over the last couple of years. Yeah, you have guessed it right. It's the Afghan. So, this team has really improved a lot, and we saw it in the last T20 World Cup also when they ended up being the semi-finalists. They eventually lost to South Africa, but what a show it was from them throughout the tournament. Before that, also in the 2023 ODI World Cup, it only required a freak innings from Glenn Maxwell to push them out. They were very close to inching towards that semi-final spot, and they have really improved. They've got a lot of talented youngsters. That bowling group has a lot of good spinners. Their pace bowling has also improved, and the batting is also improving day by day. So I think, yeah, this Afghanistan team is really here to compete, and this Champions Trophy, who knows, they may even end up lifting the trophy if they do well. So I'm joined by Ritik and Abhishek to analyze the 15-member squad for the Champions Trophy. And so I would like to start with Abhishek for the batters, the guys who always set up the game. The guys who put up big totals and then let the bowlers do their job. So, Abhishek.
Thank you, Saptashri. So, if we talk about the batters, the two names which comes into our mind are the Afghanistan's openers, Rahmanullah Gurbaz and Ibrahim Zadran. So, talking about Ibrahim Zadran, what a find he has been for the Afghanistan. With 33 matches and over 1400 runs, with an average of 48 and 500s, he is definitely one of Afghanistan's rising talents. If we talk about his performance in the big stage, in big tournaments, and in the last ODI World Cup in 2023, in 9 innings, he scored around 376 runs with an average of 47 and 100. And definitely and surely, he has been one of the go-to men if we talk about the Afghanistan's batting lineup. Now, to me, he looks a very technically solid player, and he could also provide that anchor role which Afghanistan needs in tricky situations. And it's a stat, and that whenever he and his partner in crime, which I already mentioned, Ramana Gurbaz, gives Afghanistan a good, healthy partnership, the Afghanistan team batting looks completely different and it looks very dangerous. So yeah, that was about Afghanistan. Ibrahim Zadran.
Yeah, so surely, and they have a lot of talented batters. But then let's have a look at the other departments as well. So after the batters, there comes the all rounders, and whenever there's the all rounders, there comes the name of Rashid Khan. But they have a lot of other good all rounders, and Ritik is gonna shed some light on that.
Yeah, so coming to the all-rounders, as Saptarshi mentioned, so when we look at the 15-member squad that was released, so I think we have four names for the all-rounders. Of course, the two big names, Rashid Khan and Mohammad Nabi, and also the other two names being Azmatullah Omarzai and Gulbuddin Naib. So, the all-round department that definitely looks pretty strong and solid for Afghanistan. And if I talk about Rashid Khan, he has been an absolute legend for Afghanistan cricket. With close to 200 wickets in this format and at an average of below 20. So, he's just, forced to reckon with. So, Rashid Khan, it would be a crime if we, just need to introduce him. But yeah, also not to forget that apart from his bowling prowess, he has got 550s. That just goes to show what a wonderful all-rounder he is. In this format. Coming to the other big name, the other veteran of Afghanistan cricket, Mohammad Nabi. He brings with him some plethora of experience in this format. 170 matches, 3,600 plus runs. Also, 150 plus wickets. So, he's another guy just like Rashid Khan, who has got the experience and who can always deliver. In these demanding circumstances. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
yeah, yes, Saptarshi.
definitely, Rashid and Nabi, and the amount of experience these two guys bring in, because they were the first ones to also play in the IPL from Afghanistan, if you
Yeah,
remember, and these were the ones who inspired that whole generation of Afghanistan to come up and fight in each and every match. So that goes for the all rounders. And
Yes, and
then
also to add to, I mean, the two names that I just mentioned, I mean, there are also guys like Gulbuddin Naib. Although I'm a bit skeptical that he has not been in the best of forms. I mean, if we consider the last few ODI series that Afghanistan played, but definitely one name that I mean, it's the last that I'm talking about in the all-rounder department, but definitely not the least, and that is Azmatullah Omarzai. Now, if I just talk about his recent performance, so I mean, in the third ODI versus Bangladesh, he did some wonderful bowling as well as batting. I mean, he scored 70 runs as well as picked up 4 wickets. Also, if I talk about that second ODI versus South Africa, he scored 86 runs of 50 balls. I mean, that too in an ODI format. So you can just imagine this guy. I mean, he has already got 750s and 100. So Azmatullah Omarzai is definitely, I mean, a force to reckon with, just like Rashid Khan and Mohammad Nabi. So yes, that's it from my end for the all-round department. Yeah,
And I strongly believe that that 10 overs from Rashid Khan could be a game changer for Afghanistan. And
absolutely.
if he
I mean,
could
that always
capture
is.
that 2 to 3 wickets in that middle overs, Afghanistan would be a strong contenders in the Champions Trophy.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
definitely.
I mean his batting as well as his bowling, and then he can change games in the field as well. So I mean
Absolutely.
he's a total package, and yeah. So now that batters and all rounders are over, now the bowlers. I mean, there's a proverb saying bowlers win your tournaments. So the bowling
Yeah,
department. Yeah, there's the spinners in the Rashid Khan is there, Nabi is there, who are all rounders also. But then bowling, they have a very good sort of core of bowlers. So if Abhishek can shed some light on that.
Yeah. So if we come into the bowling department, I think Afghanistan team has one of the best prospects if we compare in the tournament. And if we talk about fast bowlers, they have Fazaluk Faruqi. I mean, what to say about this guy? A left-arm bowler who can swing the ball in both the directions, and he has troubled a lot of good batters in the past with his skills. So with 50 wickets in 39 matches and a bowling average of over 30, he is currently one of the best wicket-taking prospects that Afghanistan has, and I believe that he will play a crucial role in the with the new ball if he gets a chance under lights. If the pitch is helping and if some swing happens, he will be lethal in the initial couple of overs.
Yeah, he was the
And
highest wicket taker in the T20 World Cup also.
yeah,
yes, and recently in one of the series against South Africa, he took 4 wickets for 35 runs in one of the matches against South Africa, and was one of the architects for Afghanistan winning that historic series against South Africa. So yes, he is definitely one of the prospects which Afghanistan would be looking for. Also, coming to the other bowlers, with Naveen Ulaq retiring from the ODI format, who has been a partner in crime with Fazaluk Farooqi, I think it will give a good chance to other fast bowlers. Some of them like Farid Malik, who has also a good record, 25 wickets in 19 matches with an average of over 27. And it would be interesting to see whether he would be given the new ball with Fazaluk Farooqi, or he will be brought first change, because the Omarzai has also the ability to swing the ball. So that would be a interesting option to see. And along with that, which looks a high and likely that it will not be happen, but 19 years of age of Naveed Zadran with 4 matches and just 3 wickets, I don't reckon that his name will be in the playing 11 until some injury happens to any players. And but he also looks a young prospect to me.
Yeah, so that's it. I mean, Afghanistan has always been a home to great young prospects over the last few years. I mean, you can see how many young players have come up to the ranks, be it Gurbaz, be it Ibrahim, be it Noor, even Mujibi, who is not playing this tournament, he was there. So, yeah, a lot of names. I mean, even this guy, Fazal Haq Faruqi. So, a lot of young guys have come up to the ranks
Yes,
and have prospered.
yes. And
Yeah.
then if we could talk about the spinners, there are 2 spinners apart from Rashid Khan, which would also wreak havoc. One of them being Noor Ahmed, certainly with 9 wickets in 10 matches. I would say that he is relatively young at the international arena, but we've all seen his experts and what could he do in the IPL. And I strongly believe that as you mentioned, with the absence of
Yeah,
Mujibur
currently he's playing very
Rahman,
well in the SA20 also.
yeah, he is not in the squad. With Mujibur Rahman not in the squad, as you mentioned, that he could only bowl only 4 to 5 overs due to doctor's advice. I think he would be the perfect replacement for him. And if the pitch offers some kind of turn, he would be lethal in those conditions. And he was also one of the architects for. I think he made his debut against Pakistan in that World Cup, and he also looked decent in that ODI World Cup. And if we talk about the newest Afghanistan sensation, with 17 years of age, Allah Ghaznafar, with 21 wickets in 11 matches. He has an exceptional average of 13.57. He's another Afghanistan
Wow.
future star, and he performed exceptionally well against South Africa, Bangladesh, and Zimbabwe, taking 4, 8, and 9 wickets respectively in each of the three matches which they played against them. And because of this, he has rightfully earned his place in the Afghanistan's Champions Trophy squad. And I believe that
Yeah, he's
with this
also
addition,
someone like
he would be.
Varun Chakravarti, whom a lot of people who has not played him may find it initially difficult because he has
Yes.
that air of mystery around him.
So yeah, the Afghanistan's spin attack looks wonderful, and I'm very excited to see them doing well in this tournament. And if, as I mentioned, if the pitch offers some kind of turn, they would be lethal on those tracks.
Yeah, and so I think now we are just left with the wicket keepers. Yeah, there's not a lot to discuss maybe in the wicket keeper section because
Yeah,
Gurbaz, the name everyone knows,
we
and
have
maybe a few
some
others who
batters,
will
I guess.
just
Yeah.
be injury replacements. So Ritik.
Yeah, I mean, if I talk about the wicket keepers, so the two names that immediately comes to my mind, I mean, seeing the 15-member squad. One, of course, I mean, Ramanullah Gurbaz. Again, this guy has some fair bit of experience. With he has played around 46 matches with 1700 plus runs. And if I talk about his recent performances, he has definitely been good. I mean, if I talk about that series against Bangladesh, he scored a century. Also, in that ODI series versus South Africa, he scored a century, 105 runs in the second ODI versus South Africa again. I mean, that series he looked very good. I mean, there was another, he missed out on his century. He scored 89 in that third ODI. So, yes, Ramanullah Gurbaz, it seems to me that he will definitely the first choice when it comes to wicket keepers. The other name that they have released, that is Ikram Ali Khil. But I mean, this guy again, some 384 runs from the 31 matches that he has
Yeah, he
played.
was
But
there in the
yeah,
2019 ODI World Cup. I think he played one good knock against West Indies, if I'm not wrong. And in the last World Cup
yeah.
also,
I
he
think he
played
scored
one good
some
knock
80
against.
odd runs. Yeah,
Yeah,
in that
against
match
England
only.
also he scored some 50, I think, in that historic match which they won against England.
Yes.
Yeah, rightly said. And I mean, if I talk about Ikram, then I mean, recently his form against the concluded series that was held against South Africa and Zimbabwe, he has definitely, I mean, looked. I mean, he has definitely not looked up to the mark. So I don't really see him as being the first wicketkeeper choice.
Yeah,
And so,
sure.
yeah, Ramanullah to be the wicketkeeper based on what I understand. So yes, that's it from the
Without a
wicketkeepers.
doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's it, and we would now like to form a playing 11. So if Abhishek can do the honors, the
So
best
as
possible
you
playing 11
mentioned,
out of these 15.
Yeah.
that a playing 11 goods are a good batting order. So Ibrahim Zadran and uh, Ramanullah Gurbaz would surely make my the top two, the opening pair. Along with that, the Ramat Shah, whom also I think if we don't discuss about him, it will be it will needs to be seen because he's
Yeah, I mean,
also
I
a
mean,
Rahmat Shah
yes,
seasoned
has one
Rahmat
of
Shah
champion
the,
has
for
scored 30,
for
30 half
Afghanistan.
centuries, man. 30 50s in 120 ODIs. So,
and I
yeah,
mean,
he's a
he's
force to
sort of
reckon.
that calming factor at number three. I mean, someone like a Kane Williamson or Joe Root or Virat Kohli who can just sort of calm down things and let the innings proceed and then let the set a stage for the finishers to take over.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and as Sabdasi mentioned, he is one of the seasoned captains for Afghanistan. And let me share an interesting fact. He was one of the 11 cricketers to play in Afghanistan's first ever Test match against India. So without a question,
Hmm.
we all know that what kind of experience and what value he will bring to the table in this relatively young, I would say, but experienced Afghanistan team. And with over 120 ODIs and 3,816 runs and batting average of over 35, he is the most suitable man for Afghanistan, I believe, to play at number 3. And if we talk about the 2023 World Cup, he did fairly there also with an average of over 40. and he was one of the main architects with the bat. If we talk with over Pakistan and Sri Lanka, where Afghanistan secured their historic win in the World Cup, scoring half centuries in each of them. So definitely,
Yeah.
I think he is my go-to man at number three. And if we talk about another bats, like now coming to the captain, and definitely I think under whom Afghanistan has done wonders, Hasmatullah Shahidi, the captain under
Yeah.
whom Afghanistan beat Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and England in the World Cup. And as we discussed in starting, almost they could have beat Australia, unless that beautiful and knock from
Yeah.
Maxwell dented their hopes in the World Cup. But he is also another seasoned campaigner with over 2,000 runs in 73 matches. He brings that experience which Afghanistan needs in the middle order, and it could be very much vital along with Nambi and Rahmat Shah and Omar Zai. He would the Afghanistan team. He would bring that solidity in the middle order. And if we talk about his recent performances, some of his knocks which I like the most was 80-run knock against India in the 2023 World Cup, and that 48-run knock of 45 balls against Pakistan, which led to one of the historic matches wins against Pakistan in the World Cup. So, and with 9 matches, 310 runs in that World Cup held, an average of 51, I think he is the perfect position to play at number 4. Yeah. So this is my batting order, and yeah, just we need to
And
Ritik can
whom are
discuss
you keeping
about
at?
the.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
whom are you keeping at number 5 and 6? Gulbadin,
So
or you're keeping Omar Zai?
Omar Zai, because the ability he brings with the ball, with the ability he could bring with the new ball, and the way he has batted in the World Cup, and as well as his wicket taking ability, I would surely play Omar Zai at number 5, along with Mohammad Nambi at Rashid Khan at 6 and 7, and four bowlers.
Yeah. So if Ritik can complete the rest of the 11,
Yeah.
I
And
think there
so
will
I
be
mean,
Nabi, Rashid, and then the
yeah,
bowlers.
I think Farid Malik and the other guy. Let me just recall that name. I think
Yeah, I think after
it's
Farid
Rashid,
Malik and Fazaluk
yeah.
Faruqi.
Fazal Faruqi
yeah,
and yeah,
and there will be
Rashid.
Noor and Ghazanfar, I guess. Maybe an
That's a
extra pacer
no-brainer.
if needed.
That's a no-brainer. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
mostly
guys,
the
yes,
squad
that's the
looks
probable
like this,
11 based on
and
our analysis.
so I think, yeah, it's a pretty promising team. But again, I have to do a lot of things correct, and there's definitely
Yeah.
scope for improvement. Let's see how things turn out for them. What conditions they get an offer, that also will play a big role in their future in the tournament. So let's hope they turn out well and they enjoy a great tournament. And thanks to both Ritik and Abhishek for joining.
Yeah.
So that's it from us. And please watch out for the other teams as well. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, please share the video and like it, and stay tuned. Cheers.
Yeah.